Hey there, it's Jessica. Thank you so much for speaking with me this morning and accepting this free video. I am super excited that you did because today I'm going to walk you through 3 strategies you can start applying right away, and it's going to make a significant difference in your business. And I know that it will because we've applied these same strategies with over 50 other restoration companies throughout the US, and it's made a huge impact in their business. Now, right now, you only get about 5 people organically to your website per month, okay? And there are thousands of searches for your services every single month in your service area. So you're missing out on 80% of the potential people searching for your services, okay? So 90% of the time when people search for a business and a service, they don't know who you are yet. So they're not actually going to be focused on your brand name. They're going to be focused on the services that they need. So they're going to be looking up for water damage repair San Francisco water damage cleanup, water damage restoration San Francisco, okay? So you have to focus on the local keywords that people are actively searching so that people can find you guys, okay? Now, over the last 18 months, Google has done a ton of changes in their algorithms, what they're looking for. And even in the last 90 days, they made a bunch more. Okay, so what we used to be able to do, we can't do anymore. Everything does need to be mobile first, mobile friendly. So that means having these click to call buttons are really important. So good job on that. It means having super easy navigation, and you do have that. And then content. Content is absolutely key. It's always been key, but the type of content now matters, okay? So you do need a separate page for all your major services, which it looks like you have. Google does require that, because they want a single page dedicated to that entire topic, okay? That allows you to go in depth. It allows you to be conversational and helpful. So for water damage, it might be what types of water intrusion are there? How do they occur? What do you do when you notice that you have water damage? What does A2Z Restoration do to help in those situations? And what type of equipment are you going to be using to do that? Okay, by writing content in that way, you're being helpful. You're answering the most common questions that people are searching. Okay, it gives you more content depth so that you can actually focus on the local keywords and the different variations because people search differently. Okay. Google has moved to a new standard it's called EEAT. That EAT standard is expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and trust. So all the content on all these pages needs to be built around that EEAT standard. Okay. Now your home page here is the most critical page of your entire website because it ties all of these pages together. Okay, so it does need to have many information about all those major services that then link back to those pages. And so this really doesn't have any written content here. We got a little bit here and a little bit above for the about, but that's pretty much it. You do have a couple FAQs, which is good. But your homepage needs at least 1,500 words or more of written content. When your competitors have more than 1,500 words, you will need more than they have, okay? When we're competing, we always have to do better. So that's better quality content, more blog articles, etc., okay? And because you're servicing multiple service areas, you also need to have those service area geo pages. Google is proximity based, okay? So based on where somebody is living or searching from, Google's going to try and give them the websites that are closest to them. So having service area pages in each of those communities are going to give you the best opportunity to show up in every service area that you serve. Okay. And so that's going to be really critical for you guys as well. Now, if we look at your top competitor for water damage in San Francisco, we have, just one second, sorry about that. So we have Swift. This is for the search water damage San Francisco. Swift Restoration is one of your top organic competitors, surprisingly enough. They have an okay website, not fantastic. They do have the click-to-calls. They do have separate pages for their top 3 services. They are focused on San Francisco and Bay Area. They do have more written content, not a whole lot. They have this pretty generic, looks like ChatGPT written content here. But it is more informational than what you guys have on yours. So you definitely need more content than they have, okay? Even their service pages have more quality information than you guys have on yours, which allows them to get indexed for more keywords. Okay, so that content keyword strategy is critical because Google sends crawlers to your website to scan all of your pages, images, to understand who you guys are about, what you guys offer, and where you offer those services. So when you don't have the right pages or content and keyword strategy, there's nothing for Google to index. Google doesn't have enough information, so they can't send people to your website, okay? Now, we know when people do a search on Google, oops, I didn't reset that, sorry, again. When people do a search on Google, they usually do a search similar to this, right? And when they do, there's 3 main areas your website has a good opportunity to show in the top results. The first are almost always going to be your ads. Those are local service ads like these and cost per click ads. These can be really lucrative as long as you have all your processes dialed in, you have good budget set, and when you're using cost per click ads, you're not sending people to your main website pages, but you have good designated landing pages specific to those ads, which really help in the conversions, okay? But as long as you're paying for ads, you should be getting leads. The minute you stop, the leads go away. Okay, so these next 2 sections are not dependent on an ad spend. And this section here is your Google Business Profile, Google Map Pack area. Okay, this area is really critical because 30% of people go straight to the Map Pack and don't go anywhere else. So when your profile does not show up here in this top 3, you're leaving 30% of your revenue on the table each and every month. So in order for your profile to show up here, you have to further optimize that profile and go and get more citations, which is simply listing the name of the business, the address, phone number, and website, and placing those in a bunch of directories like the Better Business Bureau, Yellow Pages, Glassdoor, Angie's, Home Advisor, and House. Even getting more social media profiles, okay? All of those are critical citations, and we need more than our competition. Okay, and that will help give you a good boost here in the maps. And then this third section here, this is your organic section. This is where 60 to 70% of people come. They'll skip over the ads and the maps, and they come right here. So when you're not in this top 3 here, when you're not in this organic section here, you're leaving 60 to 70% of the jobs on the table once again for these searches in each of your services. So in order for your website to show up here, it comes back to the foundation of this website. Do you have it properly built out with the right content and keyword strategy? And are you supporting that with a good backlink SEO strategy? So if we look here, this is Ahrefs, a paid tool we use to analyze how your website performs. Okay, we can see here you have a rating of a 0.9 out of 100 in Google's trust flow. So Google does not trust your website. And that's mostly because of the power you're sending to your website. Your website is a tool, and like most tools, they require power. So we power websites with backlinks, okay, which are basically just a physical link coming from somebody else's website and directing them to your website. And it shares the power from that other website to your website, okay? So those backlinks are really critical to power up your website. However, they're not all created equal, okay? We don't want to go after spammy, junky links. We only want good quality do follow links. The fact that you have over 100 links and a low score tells me that most of these are kind of spammy links. So we want to remove anything that's hurting you and go after the good quality links and get more of them. You will need more than your competition, okay? And that helps increase your trust score, which will help Google promote your website and help rank your keywords. You've only been indexed for 3 keywords because you really don't have much content, let alone keywords on your website. And so you're only getting 5 people organically to your website. Those are people actively searching and landing on your website versus typing your website in the address bar. Okay. If we look at the keywords, the only people landing on your website are people who already know your business name. Okay. Those are people who already know who you are. 90% of the people searching for your services don't. So as important as your brand is, it is more critical. We're focused on the way people search, okay, and using the right content and keyword strategy to drive them to your website. If we look at Swift, they also have a really low score with 180 backlinks. So again, most of this is spammy and junky. So we don't want to go after their spammy and junky ones, but the good ones that they have, we want to go and get more of those, okay? But they do have more content, which has allowed them to be indexed for more keywords. And so they're getting over 235 people on their website. And when we look, they do have quite a few that they are on the first page for. There is 10 spots per page on Google. So there's quite a few that they're ranking for. They have Berkeley, some San Francisco, Walnut Creek, but they are the local keywords, okay? So you're going to need to do the same thing and really focus on your keyword and content strategy so that they can get indexed and start ranking and sending people to your website. Swift is definitely going to be very beatable for you guys, but you do have to apply these strategies. I hope you found this information to be helpful. Please feel free to take this information, run with it, and apply it yourself. But if you'd rather have a partner in this, then reach out to Peterson SEO because this is our specialty. We specialize in working with restoration companies just like you guys. So feel free to ask any questions that you might have by replying to my email or even giving us a call here, and we would be happy to chat. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.